The trial continues for the man accused of illegally running a funeral home. Kaylee Marentet gives us a look inside the courtroom as the judge deliberates a verdict.
After about 3 weeks of Shante Hardin's trial, we're now just waiting for a verdict. Today in court, the prosecution and defense rehashed everything that has been said from witnesses and presented as evidence. Hardin is still facing charges such as representing as a funeral director while unlicensed, abuse of a corpse, failure to file taxes, fraud, theft, and many more. Hardin's attorney's main arguments are that Hardin never said he was a licensed funeral director and that he didn't do this to make a lot of money.
He was doing the best he can with what he had at the time, which is what he's always done. At the end of this, I know you'll give careful consideration to it, but I think you're going to find they haven't proved what they said they did.
The prosecution arguing that he did do it for profit.
This was a criminal enterprise, a scheme to defraud vulnerable people in a time of grief. He wasn't doing service for the poor, he was preying on them.
The judge said his goal was to have a verdict Friday afternoon, but that has now been pushed back to next week. Reporting in downtown Toledo, Kaylee Marentet, WTOL 11.
An emotional wrap-up to the first week of testimony in the Stone Foltz hazing trial, because we heard from a high school friend of Stone's who described his final moments before he was dropped off at his apartment a year ago. Scott Stack and Stone Foltz went to high school in Delaware and ultimately bonded over the death of a mutual friend, even getting similar tattoos to honor that friend. They also shared the same fraternity big brother, Jacob Crin. Crin gave Stack the same bottle of alcohol he gave Foltz, though a semester earlier. Stack says he passed on that same bottle to his Little the year of Stone Foltz's Big Little reveal. Stack also describes the moments he and others got Stone into a car and dropped him off at his apartment. He says they sat with him for 30 minutes, but ultimately they thought he was okay and they left.
None of us had any reason to believe that anything was wrong. So Jacob said he's going to be all right, and then, yeah.
Now, it's an incredibly emotional day in the courtroom because, as you can imagine, Stone Foltz's parents were watching these videos of their son's final moments and ultimately had to leave the courtroom. The defense did press back, asking if the Scott Stack and Joe Magi and others who took the stand thought Stone was okay. Why would the defendant, Jacob Crin, think any differently? The defense trying to illustrate that point during the trial. Now on Monday, I'll be back in the courtroom for more witness testimony from the state. Reporting, I'm Ariel Onstott, WTOL 11.
Kaylee, over the last year, violence has only increased in our community, and this program is aimed at bringing a positive guidance to a group of young men who would benefit from that mentoring. Today at Rust Belt Coffee in downtown Toledo, a group of young boys took another step on the way to becoming young men. They learned how to tie a tie. It may seem like something forgettable, but a skill like that is important in the professional world, and that's where the program Incorporated comes in. The local organization was created by Tremaine Rayford to give young boys the proper guidance in life.
There's a lack of positive influence for young males, and specifically fatherless young men. And I just set out to disrupt that cycle of fatherless young men being incarcerated, being in homeless shelters, and suicide and dropouts. So this is one of the events that we have to disrupt that cycle.
This yearly event is designed to teach kids how to tie a tie, but also how to excel in life. The idea behind the program is to help boys break the cycle of violence. Single mother Kelly Eishen says events like these help boys become successful young men.
These mentors really have great hearts, and they're giving their time to our community to see our boys, improve. And I think it's going to create just a great future.
Some of the boys are learning to tie a tie for the first time, while others have done it before. The kids don't just get a tie, they also get a suit, sunglasses, and cologne. During a time when violence is on the rise, the program hopes to guide the next generation to becoming successful adults.
The Buddhist Temple of Toledo opened its doors today to the public after building a community for 2 decades. Its members are proud to have a place to practice. Our Bailey Lustic got an inside look at the celebration.
So today we celebrated the grand opening of our temple, which we've been working on for many years through COVID and before that. And we've been using the temple for a few months, but today we just had a big ceremony to celebrate it, to bless it, and to have a little bit of a party afterwards.
We've been inhabiting the space for a little while, but today was the day that we actually went around and blessed the space, opened it to the public for the first time, and we had a great celebration together.
Just really expressing gratitude for the temple, for the lands, for the visiting teachers who are here, and just immense gratitude for all of it, all of it.
This was a huge celebration, not just for us, but for the entire community.
And it was beautiful, and just seeing people I hadn't seen since before COVID was so wonderful. Just to physically be in the space with them was just amazing.
We often use the phrase like a kid on Christmas to describe our excitement for something. But for some kids, instead of running to the Christmas tree to see all those presents, they're in the hospital. And some others are putting children ahead of themselves this holiday season. Amanda Faye shows us how they're playing Santa.
A special delivery to Mercy Children's Hospital. 8-year-old Addison King and 7-year-old Callie Lewis have been busy this holiday season.
We're delivering toys to the hospital so kids that aren't here on Christmas can have toys.
Service work is part of the job when you wear these crowns, Little Miss Ohio and Little Miss Buckeye State. And these girls have made the best of their extended titles. Due to the pandemic, they've held them an additional year.
So last year we reached out to Jen and Addie to see if they wanted to do a toy drive.
And boy did they. The girls collected more than 600 toys for Mercy Children's Hospital, which is a pretty important place for Callie. You see, she has Down syndrome and some health complications, which make her a frequent patient here.
So it's just a way to give back to the hospital that's given to her life since she was born.
And after the first year's success, why not try it again? The girls can be pretty persuasive, setting up drop boxes all over town and collecting cash donations, which they knew exactly how to use.
They had so much fun shopping for toys they would want, but they didn't even care that they were giving them away.
And this time around, the girls donated more than 700 toys. The staff at Mercy Children's Hospital couldn't be more excited to help them wheel them all inside.
And then we're going to take them in that room right over there, okay?
Our kids are inner city kids, and most of them may not be getting a gift. This may be the only gift that they receive.
Plus, the pretty packages to unwrap make being in the hospital just a bit less scary.
Merry Christmas!
Reporting in North Toledo, Amanda Faye, WTOL 11.
The Polka Picnic at St. Hyacinth Catholic Church is back for its 10th year after taking the last 2 off because of COVID. And the polka music and dancing is continuing today from 1 to 6. Our Bailey Lustic was there yesterday and is showing us what we can expect.
I started it 10 years ago, and I said we need to bring it back to this part of the neighborhood of Toledo because nobody was doing it anymore, you know, and we're losing tradition. And the only way we get kids involved is showing them what we used to do.
I just think it's fabulous. It brings back a lot of memories. I actually had a very good first cousin who was a Notre Dame sister. It was Sister Mary Mara. She passed away in April of last year with pancreatic cancer. And I remember bringing her here probably about 5 years ago. And she just absolutely loved it. And like I said, it's just so wonderful. It brings back so many memories for us through all of our lifetimes.
I love the guys in the band here. We've had them every year since we started. Oh, the dancing. I used to dance. Every dance is so important to me. I love the music. When I was younger, these ladies will tell you, I danced every song. My wife would say, oh honey, go find somebody else to dance with, I'm too tired. I never miss. I just think it's fabulous. I just It's amazing. I don't know where the 10 years went. You know, even last 2 years, they had a drive-through dinners. It was one way of keeping things going, but this is great.